All right, so for those of you who don't know, my name's Holly. I'm part of Rachel's street team. I'm one of the charter members, but there are several charter street team members here. So if you could raise your hands and say hi, because people drove in from super far, and we're so incredibly grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. This is an incredible day. We're very, very excited to celebrate the release of Hatchet the Hellcat. So our author today is Rachel Esterline, which I'm pretty sure everybody here knows. Rachel now has 3 books out, and these are my copies, which have like so many tabs because I'm an embarrassing human being. So she's got 3 Motorcycle Club romance books out. Do you want to talk a little bit about the books, the series? Yeah. And then we'll kind of jump in.
Yeah. So the first book is Reaper and the Lioness, and it is about a PR consultant who finds herself working for an outlaw motorcycle club. And it's really a story of her getting justice in a world that is not just. The second book is a love triangle about the very broody sergeant of arms, the very fun, flirty enforcer, and Kenna, who is planning the club's 50th anniversary party. And out of that book came the third book, because the guy who doesn't get the girl in book 2 needed his own story, and that is the story of Hatchet and Mercy. Mercy is the younger sister of Merrick, the sergeant of arms, and so that, of course, creates some fun conflicts in the story.
It does. We love it. It was fantastic. So there's one thing that I wanted to talk about first, are the relationships in this book, or in the series, because we obviously have like a romantic relationship in each of the books, but there's a lot of other relationships in these books. There's sibling relationships, there's friendships. What is your favorite relationship, friend, romantic, or otherwise? And which do you like writing better?
So my favorite relationship is sometimes the dogs and the humans, because
I did not plan for that answer at all. I didn't. I was like,
I'll give a human relationship as well, but because I used to foster animals, and so I think that's one of my favorites. I think Hatchet and Mercy have become my favorite couple to write because they were the most fun. They're really impulsive, which opens the opportunity to write some really crazy scenes in the book. And I had actually given Holly Post-it notes to alert her before the scene started, because I knew she needed to record her reaction.
Which I did, and I have for you, so I will be posting that.
So there's definitely a wild ride, and so Mercy and Hatchet are just so much fun, and you also really get to see the development of Hatchet as a character, because in book 1 he is definitely like very flirtish, never pinned down. Book 2 he starts to realize maybe he wants a relationship someday, and then 3 he is really just like becomes all in, which is a lot of fun to see his evolution as a character.
I really enjoyed watching his growth in this book, and I think you get a lot of his backstory, because he is, like in the first couple of books, he's kind of like the comedic relief, and then when you get to his story, you're like, oh, there's so much more to little baby Hatchet, whose name, have we talked about his name yet? Can we talk about his name?
We can talk about his name.
His name is Jonah, and that threw me for such a loop. I was like, oh, his name's not actually Hatchet. So how do you, when you're creating these worlds, how do you go about naming the characters themselves and then giving them their road names as well?
So for the characters themselves, I have usually like some names that I like, or sometimes if I can't think of a name, I'll just go to LinkedIn and I'll scroll through and pick somebody's name. I'm like, this sounds good. Or in some cases, like with Hale, Benjamin, and Danielle in book 1, they're just people I knew in real life that I hated, and they got written into my books. So in one of them, I only changed one letter in the last name. And so and then
I know, right? I'm like, gold. Hashtag gold. Oh man.
I do have an entire spreadsheet of road name ideas. So sometimes it's just picking from my spreadsheet. My husband's laughing at my spreadsheet.
My road name.
Oh, I don't think I need to know. That'll be Yeah, we'll do that last.
Do that last.
So Hatchet originally, he didn't have a road name in book one when I first wrote book one. His road name came when I decided that I was going to turn this into a series, and I knew long term he would be book three because I always knew that kind of would end up with Merrick, and so it just was rewriting the story to give him a road name, and then I tend to like to think of road names that I can do cool covers for as well, at least now, because book one I wasn't thinking about it as a series, and then I started to have to think about what do I put on the covers to tie the books together too. The flowers are also, I actually sent my designer a bunch of flowers, and I was like, pick the flowers for the cover, and then I'll write them into the story. So that's how we chose peonies, was that's what she designed, and then I went in and put the flowers into the story.
I think we need to circle back to your spreadsheet. Because it's not just a spreadsheet of road names.
She's seen my spreadsheet.
I have, and I tried to look through everything. You're like, no, there's spoilers, you can't look at it. She has everything in this spreadsheet. She has height, weight, when people were born, when they joined the club, what their different positions were. So how long do you take when you were going through that spreadsheet? Did you start the spreadsheet, then the book?
No, so I add details as I write them. So if I write a personality thing, or I decide a hair color, if I am thinking about certain things, I'll put it in there. And then sometimes I'll think okay, I need to figure out how this personality type would react in this stressful situation. So all the main characters get a Myers-Briggs, so that way I can see how would an EFTP react in this specific situation, because I know how I would react, but that's not how everyone would react. So my personality type is an INTJ, and that is what Eva is. So I don't know what that says about me.
If you've read book one,
you know.
And we have some follow-up questions about maybe your rap sheet.
Yeah. I mean, so as Reaper coached Eva in the book, you never admit to a felony.
Ever.
So no comment.
Love it.
About my rap sheet.
Allegedly.
Alleged rap sheet. Alleged rap sheet. I was going to ask what character you identify most with, so I can assume that it's Ava based off of that answer, or...
I think that I'm going to have a lot in common with Jet as well. Jet is the FMC for book 4.
Can we talk about
We
book
can
4?
talk. It is called Fuse and the Phoenix. So you meet Fuse in book 2. You really get to know him a little bit more in book 3. There's a lot that you guys don't know yet about Fuse. There's a lot that you don't know, that you know nothing about the FMC, and I'm really excited for the plot twist that nobody in this room, even my husband, do not know.
Can I bribe you for?
No.
What do you like? Chocolate, wine,
No.
scotch?
All of the above.
I'm so
Fantastic.
It's because I know her reaction is going to be so big that I have to hold this information from Holly.
Fuse has his own tab color in this book, and I'm pretty sure he does in Damascus too. I don't know what it is about Fuse.
I think you tabbed this more than you've tabbed any other book.
I did. I went tab crazy. I ran out of colors. I really liked Mercy. She is a raging badass. Absolute raging. Kick the door down.
She rivals Eva, I think.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting the parallels between Eva and Mercy. I think Mercy's a little bit more in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Eva's a little bit I'll do it behind closed doors. And Mercy's I'll open the door. I'll kick it open and I'm walking right in. So how fun was Mercy as a character to write?
She was the most fun. Of all my characters to write, I think Mercy was the most fun. She's also the youngest, though. So I think a lot of her impulsivity comes from her being in her 20s and kind of going through a change in her relationships at the juncture point of the book. So that gave this really great opportunity for me to have somebody who makes some really bad decisions. That's why this is called Book Spikers and Bad Decisions. You'll be reading and you'll say Mercy, this is a bad idea, but I'm here for it.
Armadillos. That's all I have to
Yeah.
say, Mercy.
There's a lot of armadillos in this book.
Which actually, speaking of, I brought you a little
Pet
armadillo. Mostly for the dogs. I have a feeling they're going to get their
They're
paws.
not getting this.
Perfect.
They'll
Love it.
tear it apart.
I kind of figured.
This
they
is
might.
coming to every event now.
Yay!
My little-
So armadillos are a big part of book 3 in the best way, the best, most ridiculous way possible.
I
So
think it's my favorite part.
yeah, love the armadillos, and I just love just the context around them. It's just funny. Do you like armadillos, or was that just a funny?
I just thought it was funny. I mean, I did Google, can you have a pet armadillo? And it's not advised because of diseases that they carry. So originally I did consider her catching one and rescuing it, but we did not do that. But we do have another rescue puppy in the book.
Do you have another rescue puppy you want to talk
Yes.
about?
So we have, for the first time, a non-Malinois or Dutch Shepherd. So those dogs were chosen because that's what I have. But Ranger, my 3-year-old dog, is 50% cattle dog. So book 3's dog is an Australian cattle dog who was found, and she's also a tripod.
She is.
So
Yeah.
she's super cute.
So are all of the characters going to have dogs?
Yes.
All of them.
Immediate yes. Every single book gets a dog.
Immediate.
I was trying to
Yeah.
get Fuse to have bonded kittens.
Okay, I don't like cats. And
Fuse
also,
gets no cats.
I am considering working with a rescue to auction off the breed and name of book 4 to benefit a dog rescue. I still have to coordinate the details. So I just hope a poodle doesn't win because I don't like poodles.
We can rig it.
Yeah, I mean,
Heard
I
it here
get
first. We
I
were
get
interested.
veto power for sure.
So no poodles.
Nope, I'd prefer not to put a poodle in
I think that's
for
I
books.
think the vibes would fit.
Yeah, the vibes aren't gonna
I'm,
fit.
I'm just trying to, I'm like,
Yeah.
a leather
Yeah,
jacket,
no.
biker hat.
A little spike collar.
Probably no
It's not gonna work.
Not a doodle.
Not gonna
Not at
work.
all. Not at all.
We do get a very interesting new character in this book, and I don't want to spoil
Okay,
anything.
who is
for
it?
anybody. Jessa.
Oh yeah, Jessa. Okay.
So where did the inspiration from Jessa come from without giving too
Yeah.
much away?
Well, so you meet Jessa in the epilogue of book 2, but I don't say who Jessa is. And so you all might be guessing on who Jessa is, but Jessa becomes a really influential part, I think, not just for Hatchet and Mercy in their lives, but also in like the Mavericks as a whole. And I think Jessa is one of the characters that spurs Hatchet's evolution and maturity as a character.
She plays a very, very big role in this book.
Yeah.
Will she be getting a book, maybe with some of the new prospects that we also meet?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, she's 15 years old. She's underage
Down the
right
road,
now.
down the road,
So,
down the road.
That would be not advised.
Right now.
But yeah, I have considered writing a second gen series because the other fun thing about this book is in the epilogue, you finally get the name of Eva and Reaper's children. And Holly actually named them because I couldn't figure out a name. So I just texted her and I said, will you name these children for me? And so we named them, and one of them is named after her daughter. So I do think it would be fun to write a second gen with them and some of the other kids who are introduced throughout the book as like a future. But I need to finish this series before I go off and write another series. So that is future Rachel's problem.
Yeah, Rachel's not going to talk to me anymore because I keep signing her up for more books.
Yeah.
Like the second gen.
It's fine.
She's gonna be 80 writing. It has to happen. We're never ending this.
This world never ends. Which you were very generous with that. When you forgot to tell people when you were texting me about the twins' names, and you said, "Well, hey, I was thinking about naming the girl my daughter's name. Would that be okay?" And I said, "Oh my God, I wouldn't love that."
But I didn't
Because
even
I was
read
freaking
the
out. And I was like,
message
"Oh my God, I
correctly.
would love that so much!" And I accidentally put wouldn't, and then I put my phone down. And I came back to it, I was like, "No, I meant I would." And she totally
I
didn't
did-
even.
I didn't even catch it because I can't read.
I can't even read.
Yeah.
We need shirts. I can't even read.
Yeah.
I love it. Last thing I want to talk about in the books is the playlist that you put together for the books.
Yeah.
Now, where does the inspiration come from? Do you build them as you're writing? Do you
Mhm.
listen to them as you're writing?
So I start building them before I start writing the books now. And so I already have a ton of songs even on the next books playlist. So as I hear a song, I throw it on there and then I curate it at the end. So I take a bunch off because there's some that are there for vibes alone and then I take it off. But then I have to like reorder them to also go along in the order of the book. Holly's obsessed with she got to listen to the playlist before the book came out too, which was fun.
And I did, like, I think I texted you and I said, this song is so Mercy coded. And I don't even know Mercy yet. Well, I did, but like not that well. And I will say, having read this book, the playlist, I actually listened to the playlist on my way here today because I was like, yeah, and I thought I was so cool.
Vibes,
Yeah, I really need to actually stop reading these books because I'm going to start getting into bar fights and nobody needs that to happen because I think that I'm
That's actually the after party. We're going to go get in bar fights.
Her goal is to get me in a bar fight. Okay, so I wanted to do like a quick this or that.
Okay.
Would you rather drive or be a passenger?
Passenger.
Car or motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Do you like leather or lace? Which is an awful question because she's wearing both right now.
I'm going to go with both.
Both?
They pair well.
They do pair very well.
Yeah.
A moment for the outfit, please.
Yes.
I love it. Would you rather type or handwrite?
Type.
If you had to either handwrite all of your next books or write a book with the stepbrother trope, what would you rather do? She hates this trope
I think stepbrother trope should not exist.
at all.
I'm handwriting the books.
All of them.
All of them.
All 57 that I
I
signed you
can't.
up for.
I can't do the stepbrother trope.
And editing.
That's my editor's problem.
You just mail a
Because I'm just going to handwrite it and then I'm just going to mail it to someone and pay somebody to type it for me. There's a workaround for that.
There is a workaround. Okay, no
Yeah.
stepbrother tropes. What is your favorite trope?
My favorite trope. That's a good one. I think probably vigilante justice.
What's one trope that you haven't gotten to write yet?
I think that book 4 is going to have a lot of power play.
And that's Fuse's book. Just so everybody knows, we're really going to drive that home. It's
Yes.
Fuse's book.
Yes.
So we've got the Lone Star Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
What other things can we look forward to in the future from you?
So I have a romantasy drafted that someday I may edit, but it needs a lot of work because it's my first manuscript, and then I wrote these, and now I look at that and it's trash.
Which we all know is not true.
And then I periodically
trash.
will actually text Holly and I'm like, what do you think about this idea? So I do have a spin-off series. I actually have an entire universe in my head that I can spin off from this series when I run out of books for this to write. So we've got the Red Rock Riot that is introduced in book 2. So that's in New Mexico. We don't know where Jace is. If you guys remember Jace from book 1, Eva's brother, he's MIA. He could be alive. We don't know. I don't know. But if he is, then I have a military spinoff. So I may resurrect him. Maybe I'll write a zombie series, honestly. I think zombies and bikers would be a lot of fun too.
I'm on board.
Sold. And then we have the Mafia in Fort Worth. There's this possible spin-off. And then Coast. So you all get to know Coast. I think in book 2, right? Coast is in book 2? Yeah. So you get to know Coast, and he, his daughter's a barrel racer. And so this opens up the world for cowboy romance. So I have, like, really, if I just keep building in the same universe, I don't have to build a new world, and it makes the writing faster and easier. So that's kind of what is happening right now, is it just keeps expanding. And the second gen. I think the second gen would be a lot of fun. I'm also working on I have one page done, of a Reaper and Eva, like, novella that'll come out right before the holidays. So that'll be kind of like my in-between thing.
And Hatchet and Mercy have Arbor Day.
Yeah, so I was debating on who gets what holidays, and I was like, I think maybe, like, I think American kind of would like Halloween. And I was like, I don't know what they want. And Holly has suggested Arbor Day because he chases her through the woods. So
He sure does. He sure does.
Is that your favorite scene?
I think the repercussions for that are my favorite.
That is the repercussion.
That's what she means, yeah.
No.
Or, the thing that happens before.
No, the thing that he has to go to the doctor for.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot about that.
I have not. And
I forget what I write, and then Holly's like, what about this part? I'm like, oh, yeah.
it's because I tab things and I
So
snort these.
Hatchet finds himself having to go to the doctor for something.
I mean, frequently. He's a frequent flyer. We all know that.
Yeah, but this time, it's pretty funny.
It is very funny, and I brought it up to my husband multiple times. And he's like, you need to like take a step back from this book. Like, I'm getting concerned. But when you read this book, DM me when you get to that scene. You will know what I'm talking about. Please send me a message because I live for it.
Yeah.
I live for that scene.
Yeah.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to talk about with these books?
No, I think you covered it.
Covered it?
I think.
Covered it with all my tabs.
Yeah. But I can take if there's other questions.
Anything you're dying to know?
Uh-oh.
Gentleman in the back?
Yes.
Hey, if she sold 1,000 copies of her next book, I'm gonna write 2 pages and look forward to it.
That's gonna be so bad.
No, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, so Jeremy will occasionally out loud write sentences and stories for me. He also did a Mad Lib for us. And
I probably should read his message. Yes.
so
I have
they're always very dirty stories beyond even what I write. So, it's pretty great. You're welcome to read it. I don't care. He's the one who wrote it.
I know. Should we get his consent? Because we are
He
consent
doesn't.
queens here.
He consents. I'm his wife. I told you. He's not even paying attention.
I know, he's not even paying
So
attention.
it's fine.
Can I read your Mad Lib? Is that okay? Do I have your consent to do that? Are you guys ready?
Okay.
The only thing, he left this one blank, so.
Yeah,
You want to fill something in? Now it's a collaborative effort. They're co-authors of this.
I don't know why I'm using that.
I actually used that in my very first Mad Libs that I did.
Yeah,
for
you did.
I did.
Okay. This is by Jeremy Perkins.
The Mavericks knew better than to flirt with Allison. She had a wet mouth, a tongue punch, and zero interest in being told what to do by a man. So I made it my mission to get under her skin. The final straw was when I bent her over. You're the thickest dick I've ever met, she snarled like a wild animal in heat. I smirked. Chipmunk, don't lie to yourself. You like it. You might even love it. Every person in the clubhouse watched like it was a cage match, and I knew Zip Tie had 100 on who would come first. And from the looks of things, she was about to explode. She huffed at me, flexed her tiny wrist like she was going to suck it before grabbing a dildo and throwing it at my chest. Then she set the bed on fire. That's when I knew I was a dead man. I'd never been so hard in my life. Jeremy.
He's actually, so a fun thing is there's actually a lot of things that he says in here. So there's a phrase that Hatchet says, go fast, don't die. That's something that Jeremy says. There's also a line where he says, stop resisting. And I also put that in there. And something that he said once.
I love it.
So yeah.
Any other questions? Has anybody filled out a Mad Libs that they want to share with the class? I will find your Mad Libs later, and I will read it out loud. I'll put it on the internet.
You're always welcome to bring up the Mad Libs, and Holly will happily read them to anyone and everyone.
Yes, I will. We would like to give a huge shout out to Heather and James for hosting and for organizing bikers and our visiting bikers. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here. We're very, very grateful. This is actually where Rachel and I met for the first time. Actually, right there is where we met for the first time. So this is a very special place for us. And I think that was your first event.
That was my first ever
Ever.
book signing, yeah.
So
And we became friends.
this is a really special place, not only for us but for the whole community. So thank you to Heather and James for building what you built. It's incredible here.
Thank you. All right. And I'll be here to sign books. And if you want pictures with my personal weaponry, I'll take them.
You have to give up all liability walking